Hello, kindergarten. Welcome back for Weekend News. Every week we tell a story through our writing. Just like the books that we read, they tell a story. Well, writing helps tell a story, and I want to tell you a story about what I did over the weekend. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at my writing folder here, and I'm going to take a look at my sentence starters. And they're going to help me tell a story. They're going to start my story for me. I'm going to take a look at something that makes the most sense. I like, no. I am, no, that doesn't tell about my weekend. I went to, well, yeah, that could help me tell a story about the weekend. I went to, and I can tell you where I went that weekend. Let me see if something else works too. Let me take a look at this one here. I played with, ooh, that one would work too. I could tell you who I played with this weekend. I played with, and I can tell you who I played with. What about this last one? Look here, this would also be a really good pick for Weekend News. I played at. Ooh, I could tell you where I played. Maybe it was the playground. Maybe it was my house, or maybe it was someone else's house or a park. I think the best sentence starters for us for Weekend News are I went to, I played with, and I played at. I think one of these is going to work. So let me tell a story. I'm going to tell you who I played with. Okay? Ready? I'm going to read my sentence starter, and then I'm going to finish the sentence, just like Mrs. Botari does in Haggerty, where she'll start a sentence and then we finish it. I played with Harry and Marshall. I can use my sentence starter. I played with, finish the sentence, Harry and Marshall. Now that I have my sentence with my sentence starter that I know I'm going to use, let me count how many words are in my new sentence. Listen to me again. Ready? I played with Harry and Marshall. Let's count it. I played with Harry and Marshall. How many words were in my sentence? 6 words. Let me start with the first word. What was the first word in my sentence? I. You're right. Here it is. I played with. The first word in my sentence was the word I. I spell it with an uppercase because this is our heart word, I, and it's at the beginning of a sentence. Ready? I'm going to say it and I'm going to write it and scoop it on over because I know I can't write my next word right next to this one because then they're going to be squished in the line. And just like in our cubby lines, we need spaces in between so that we're not all squished together, right? Let's say it. I. We're going to scoop over to our next word. What was the second word in my sentence? I played. Ready? Scoop it over. I played. Played is going to go right here. I'm going to start the word played. P-L-A-Y. I'm taking a look at my sentence starter to help me. E-D. Do you see how there's a space in between the words here? That way I can tell that this is the word I, and I can tell that this is a different word, played. Watch me do it with no finger spaces. Now, I know some of you would be able to look at this and tell me what the words are, but if someone else came into our classroom, like Mr. Harvey or another friend, they may not know that these are 2 different words. They might not know that was our first word and then our second word. They might just think that's one word because they're all squished together, which is why we need to point to our word, say the next one, and scoop it over so that it starts in its own little spot. Let's keep going. Now, I just took a break and I forgot where I am in my sentence, and that happens a lot. So what you need to do is go back to the beginning, point to your first word, and I want you to scoop and find out what word is gonna come next. Ready? I played with is my next word. That's one of our heart words because it can be a little tricky, but it's not a heart word anymore when we learn the digraph TH. Let's spell with. W, I, I know that that last sound is a TH, like in thumb. Now, I was talking again. I forgot where I was. Let's go back and find out what the next word in our sentence was. Let me say it and scoop over so I can write. Ready? I played with Marshall. Oh, I was writing about Marshall and Harry. I played with Marshall and Harry. So I played with, Marshall's name is next. And I know Marshall's name and how to spell it because I am his mama, of course. But if you need to spell a name and you don't know how to spell it, you can ask a grown-up like your teacher, or you can do your best to tap out all the sounds you know, okay? I played with, oh, I better go back, find out what comes next. Let's do this, ready? I played with Marshall, and is my next word. And, but you know what? And isn't a word that I know how to spell, I think, because it's not one of my heart words, and it's not a name that I know how to spell. And let's tap out and use the other side where I have all my sounds and spellings, okay? Let's tap out the sounds in and. What was the first sound I heard? And. Hey, that's a welded sound. And that's the welded sound A-N, and, like in the word fan, but also in and. So A-N, and. Now the word's not finished yet because I played with Marshall and. Well, it's not I played with Marshall and, it's and. I need to finish this word. What was the second sound? And. If you said D, you were correct. D dog D. And D. Both of the sounds are on there. I can use this to help me. Ready? Skyline to grass line, trace up to the plane line, and back down and around. Now let's pause. I don't think my sentence is done yet. It looks weird, so I think we need another word here. I played with Marshall and Harry. But look, I scooped on over, and I don't think this is going to be enough space for Harry's name. So guess what I can do? If I don't think this is going to be enough space, I have a brand new line. If I go down here, I can start Harry's name down here instead. Harry's name has an uppercase letter at the beginning, just like Marshall's, because names begin with an uppercase letter, even if they're in the middle of a sentence. Okay, I think I'm done with my sentence, but to make sure, I need to do my writer's checklist. The first thing I need to do is check, did I have a capital letter or an uppercase at the very beginning of my sentence? Let's take a look. First letter is an uppercase. It sure is. Check. Did I use finger spaces in between my words? Can I fit finger spaces in between all of my words? Let me scoop to make sure. I played with. Nope, I did. Check. None of my words are bumping together like this. I can tell that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in my sentence, just like we counted before. Okay, check, check. Punctuation. I need that at the end of a sentence. I could use a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. This is not a question. Let me read it. I played with Marshall and Harry. Oh, I'm just telling you something. I'm not asking a question or saying it loudly or excited. I'm just saying I played with Marshall and Harry. That's a period. If you're just telling something, you're just gonna put a period there. Now, last one. Does my sentence make sense? Now, if I go back and I read my sentence and maybe I wrote, I with Harry Marshall played. Oh, that does not make sense. What if I wrote that, right? So I would have to go back and double check. What if I wrote something like this? I played Marshall Harry. Does that make any sense? This is why we go back and read our sentences at the end, so that we make sure that we didn't miss anything. I played Marshall Harry. I didn't play Marshall Harry. That's not a game. I played with Marshall and Harry. Going back and reading your sentence at the end and making sure you say what you want to say, tell the story you want to tell, and that it makes sense. Because if Mr. Harvey comes in here and reads your paper, he should be able to tell what your story is about. That's why we need the right words in the right spaces. I played with Marshall and Harry. Does my sentence make sense? Yes, it does. Check. When I have all that checked, guess what? Now I get to do the fun part here, and I get to draw an illustration playing with Marshall and Harry. And I could draw us playing in the backyard. We were playing catch with a football. It was really, our grass was covered in leaves in the backyard, and Mr. Logan was like spraying them with the leaf blower. So I could draw all of that back here. I could use all the colors I wanted, like the brown and the orange leaves. I could draw the football. I could draw Harry and Marshall and me, and I could even draw Mr. Logan in the background cleaning up the leaves, and put that all in my illustration to help tell a story too. Good luck on your weekend news, and I can't wait to hear your story.